Now the first way to maximize your kills in Battlefield 5 is going to be using power positions. Now, a power position is what I'm going to classify in two ways. The first way is it's going to be an area like this, which is going to be my example on Marita. A power position is going to be an area where there's a high area of flow and footfall of any players in the game, whether it be your teammates or the enemies. It's going to be an area of the map where there's always a large amount of the player base in the game. They're always going to be in this area. But secondly, the power position is also going to be an area where you're able to see and access the majority of the rest of the map. Now, here is Marita, and this is my perfect example because, one, you have at the start of every single game, the bridge here on C flag, there is a massive choke point all the time. You know, the German side over there is always fighting the British side, and everyone has got a massive choke point along here and along the cliff line. There's always action going here throughout the entirety of the game. This part here, just by C, by C flag, is going to be the main power position for Marita. I've got the RSC here. You will know on the channel, and you can watch it. I've got a 126 kill game with this gun, which is just absolutely crazy because a lot of people think it's one of the worst guns in the game. But I managed to do that literally for the whole game using this one power position. But my second point and second definition of the power position, which I said about being able to see equal areas around the map, from this power position here, you can directly see C flag, you can see up the hill to A, you can easily see down from B by here, and if you stand on the cliff edge over there. If you stand along any of the cliff edge over there, you can see down onto D flag. And of course, if you move across here, you can see E flag, and a little bit further down, you can look all the way up the main path, all the way up to the spawn flag for the British side as well. So, and as a result of being able to see all the flags with an equal distance, you can spend less time running around the map to and from flags, and you can spend more time actually aiming in and getting kills at people from all the different flags. As well, this power position, because it is an equal and short distance to pretty much all the flags around it, it means if you do need to run to any of the flags in the map, you've only got to run a short distance from this one point, rather than being all the way up at A and needing to run all the way to E. So this is why power positions are so important, and this is the best one here on Marita. Now, the second way you can maximize your potential kills in Battlefield 5 is having the ability and the highest skill level at being good at long range. And this doesn't just mean, like this clip, being good with a sniper at long range. This means being good with any gun at any range possible. Like you can see at the start of the next clip here with the Braider, you have the option to change from a full auto mode to, or rather the burst mode here, to semi-automatic mode to improve your accuracy at long range. You've also got, even in full auto, you can still utilize tap fire. That is one of the strongest things you can do in the game. But also, you have things like FOV, which, if you know my opinion, I always play low FOV because enemies appear bigger on the screen. I can see them at longer distances. And when you have low recoil, semi-auto or tap fire guns, the recoil doesn't matter. So you can have bigger targets to aim at. But regardless of the settings or different tips or tricks you can use to be good at long range, the main thing is always going to be practice. Even if you play on a high FOV, you can still get really good at long range, but you have to practice it. And when you see targets at long range, you have to go for it in order to get better at that. Now, the ability to be good at long range is probably the most important out of the 5 things I mentioned in this video, and it is the largest skill gap possible in Battlefield. You will know Battlefield, compared to most other FPS games, even the traditional Call of Duty maps, is 1,000 times bigger in size than the Call of Duty maps, which are going to be the size of your bedroom. Just think, when you play any Battlefield map, how many enemies you see at long range throughout the duration of the game which you're playing that you don't engage with because you don't think you have the potential or the skill to be able to kill them, or even with the weapon that you're using that is good enough to kill them at that range. You may see 100 enemies throughout the course of a game, but you might only be able to kill 50 of them because you haven't got that long range ability. You improve and change your settings and just practice and improve that skill in general. Out of those 100 enemies you now see in the game, you might now be able to kill 70 of them instead of 50 of them. And lastly, the ability to be good at long range means you have to spend less time running to get within range of enemies, and you can now engage them from a longer distance away, meaning you're spending, again, less time running, more time shooting, more kills. The third point is map rotation. In this example here, you can see the majority of my teammates on the minimap pushing in towards E flag. I take the decision to rotate back towards B and C flag, and this is going to be the result. Of course, I chose to push back early because I didn't want to compete with all my teammates, to get that 1 or 2 kills on the enemies on E flag, when the enemies also had behind me B and C flag, and we're going to be spawning there after my teammate captured their home flag of E. So I'm therefore rotating before my teammates so I can get to the new enemy's location, so that I can basically have all the kills for myself. But also rotating to where enemies are going to spawn so that you can maximize your kills without running around and not finding anyone. This is a really hard point to explain, but the best tip is to save your gameplays of any game that you play in and rewatch them and see where you could potentially change and rotate. Now the fourth way is very basic, and that is simply upgrading your map knowledge and the ability to therefore use unexpected spots and positions to kill enemies from. Because enemies will not expect you in certain spots or positions, their gun probably won't be aiming at you and you'll be able to beat them in a gunfight, or if anything, you'll be able to kill them before even getting into a gunfight with them. All I can say for this is I've got a full playlist on my channel with almost all the most popular maps in the game, the ultimate guide to all map spots and positions in Battlefield 5. I'm still updating that to this day with new spots and positions on those maps and on new maps. And so if you want to easily learn this skill or master this point in this video, simply go and watch those, and it covers every single thing from the latest patch of the game. Everything in there works and is not going to get patched, so give that a watch, and this covers this point for you entirely. Now the fifth and final point is going to be using the most suitable weapon for the game mode which you are playing, for the map which you are playing on, and for the playstyle which you are going for. You'll see so many people using the meta weapons like the Sturmgewehr or the ZK383 on every single map in the game, even the most open ones, and they'll be wondering and questioning why they don't do well. It's simply because they are not using the best gun for that map. Don't get me wrong, every map in Battlefield 5 has its close range areas of the map as well as its long range areas, but if the map is mainly built for long range and has more long range areas than close range, then of course it makes sense to use long range weapons. Underground and Armage use SMGs, Narvik and Armada use snipers or semi-automatic rifles. Think about the map you're playing, think about what it was designed for, and choose the correct weapon, because you will win way more gunfights and you will therefore maximize your potential kills and even stay alive longer. Thanks for watching, I really hope this has helped. Please smash the like for me, leave a comment and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. I'll see you on the next one.